Welcome to a Monday night update. I decided to do a quick update tonight because I have been away from the computer, from the home, from the markets for the last few days, and I haven't been thinking about it. So I am, let's say, how would you say, I am qualifying my thoughts right now before I do tonight's update. For the website members. And if you do want to become a website member at bullwaves.org, check out bullwaves.org and go to the prices section and join and create a membership profile and click in and you'll have tonight's update. Simple as that, eh? Okay, now that we've done that little promo, as you might say, let's get into a couple of the charts. I wanted to just kind of hone in on the hourly chart right now because I think we are well, if we're not there right now, we're very close to the end of wave 5. I was looking at this a little bit different last week. I was looking at a possible, fourth wave in blue here. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. I'll show you. I was looking at a possible fourth wave in blue. That was maybe tracing out an expanded flat correction. So that would be A, B, C up. And the main reason was because we had this three wave rise to a new high. But I'm looking at that a little different tonight. Maybe wave 4 is already in, and we could be tracing an ending diagonal pattern here in wave 5 in blue. And once we do complete wave 5 in blue, that would, let's say, at a minimum would be a break above 105, maybe a break into 106, 106.20 or 106.30. I'm sorry about the screaming in the background. Children. Okay, let's go there. If we complete 5 waves up in wave 5 in blue, then we will look for a larger correction down that would begin wave 2. So that would be wave 1 and 2 complete before an even larger more extended rally, I think, in wave 3. But for the moment, anyway, I think we're tracking towards the top in wave 5 in blue, if this is an ending diagonal. Okay, so let's move on. Cable probably has the opportunity or the possibility to be a similar type of pattern, although it depends on how you count this. The internal action here last week, which was very choppy, sideways. In general, it was pretty crappy. It's hard to make a whole lot of sense of what was going on here. That small third and fourth wave is what I ran with last week, and an ending diagonal is what I actually went with as the main pattern. And we may have completed that. We did pip to a new, let's say, not a new orthodox high, so that'll be above that 123.55. Let's see, let's get a proper price on that. It'll be 123.45. We didn't make a new orthodox high, but if we track wave 4 as an expanded flat correction, which I think it probably is, that's like A down, B up, and then C down, then that's a B wave high, and that doesn't actually mark the high of the pattern. It may be the high of the, let's say the price high, but it ain't the high of the actual pattern. Wave 5 in pink here actually made a high above wave 3, which made the minimum, let's say, expectation at 123.21. Now we haven't fallen in any meaningful way off that just yet. So we have yet to confirm that we're turning down into wave A. And that's the general consensus, let's say, or the general idea here, is that we're going to track lower over the next few weeks as wave B. Let's say this is wave A done, so wave B in red would track lower, probably towards about 115 again. So we haven't turned down into that 3-wave pattern down in wave A yet, but I suspect we'll get there this week. So we'll just track it day by day until we start seeing some progress to the downside there. Okay, here is dollar yen. We're heading higher today as expected, but again, the rally hasn't been, let's say, as powerful as one might expect, as I am expecting wave 3 of wave C of wave A. So expecting a 5-wave, an impulse pattern back above the 4th wave high here. So we're back above, probably above 140 to complete wave A. And once that happens, then we'll look lower again in wave B, probably back towards 135 again. So it's 3 waves up in wave A is what I'm tracking, and I think we're on wave C right now, unless I'm proved wrong tomorrow, which is possible. I mean, this B wave here may take another pattern. It might flip towards an alternate pattern here. So I'll just keep an eye on that B wave low here at 135.63 at the moment. That's quite a spread on that pattern there. If we break above wave B again, so we're quite close to that, 137.85. Let's call it 137.86. If we accelerate above that, will suggest that wave 3 of C is underway. Okay, let's move on. If we go to the 4-hour here, this is the main count. Let's see, 1 second now. The main count in the Dow is a second wave. At which degree you want to take it is up to you, to be quite honest. So a second wave correction in wave 2 of green is what I'm kind of working with at the moment. Again, there's been no confirmation to the downside yet. We've had a small move off the high, but nothing to suggest, or there's something to suggest that the top is in for wave 2, but there's nothing to confirm it just yet. That's what I meant to say. Excuse me. But we have met the minimum expectation for wave C of 2, so that'll be wave A up, done at 34,280. Wave B down, done to a new low, that'll be 28,600. And then this rally here, which has been longer and stronger than I suspected, but something to match the kind of intensity of the summer rally that we had. So actually, it's larger, but it's the same characteristics, and we're still showing the same characteristics that we showed off the high of the summer rally. So if we're going to top like we did in late August into September, then we're expecting a kind of a pretty fast acceleration lower into a third wave now over the next month or so. So let's go to the hourly count. Here you can see a possible 5-wave pattern, maybe complete at today's low. Depends on how we track wave 4 here. So if we're looking at 5 waves down, we could be talking about wave 4, maybe a running flat wave 4. It really depends. We had a bounce today. We did in the futures. We broke to a new low, and then we bounced, reasonably well off that low. So we're either tracing out an alternate pattern in wave 4. Excuse me. Let me try and get that again. An alternate pattern in wave 4, maybe as a running flat or something, or else wave 4 is already done and wave 5 pipped to a new low today, and now we're starting on wave 2. So this could be an ABC pattern higher in wave 2. We have 34,000 more or less marking the 50% retracement of wave 1. So if that's wave 1 and 2, then an impulse wave lower should be complete this week, and we should head lower. We should complete a lower high, probably by midweek, and then head lower into wave 3 down. There is an alternate view here that suggests that we are actually running at 1 degree lower here. So, I've shown that in wave 1 and 2 in black, and then it doesn't actually change the let's say the impetus or the suggestion that is within the pattern here, but let's say I'm looking for confirmation on that. So let's see if we can get a second wave high, no matter what degree. Let's say if we can get a second wave lower high complete by midweek, and then we head lower into wave 3. Okay, if you think that I'm going a bit fast here, it's probably because I am, and I'm probably speaking more to subscribers now than I am to general public. But I'm not going to make any apologies for that. I don't know why I would want to be making apologies for that. Okay, here we go. This is gold. The 4-hour count in gold, you can see here, possible wave 1 top in at last week's high. If that's the case, then we should be heading lower into wave 2. And depending on the internal pattern of wave 2, it's up for grabs at the moment how that's going to play out. I would suggest, we have a pivot point there, this internal high here back in October. about 1729, and that kind of caught the fourth wave low about 1730 again a couple of weeks ago. So 1730 at a minimum should be what we would be expecting in wave 2, but I'm probably going to suggest a little bit lower than that, probably maybe 1670 or 1680 to get down maybe to a 62% retracement there. If we got to a 62% retracement, let's get a price on that. That would give us 1688, so 1680, 1690 towards a bullish higher low in gold. Let's get the hourly count. Again, we're looking at a possible top in wave 1 and then maybe some sort of an expanded flat correction going on here in wave 2. Now, obviously there's numerous ways you can count this. At the moment, I'm going to stick to this pattern because we moved impulsively lower off that B wave high. And well, while we did threaten that high last week, we didn't actually break it. And it did move correctively higher. So that's a 1-2 pattern in my book, and we should head lower in a third wave of wave C. And again, I'll be looking towards that 1700 level again, as a midpoint, let's say, target. Okay, crude oil. Either we are completing a B wave low. This will be an expanded flat B wave low. So we have ABC up in wave A, ABC down in wave B, and then we're going to rally again in wave C. As part of this alternate second wave scenario. So this is the 4-hour count. Some sort of an alternate second wave going on here, or the main count is that we have wave 1 down. I think it's wave 1. Let's get to the hourly count here. Yes, wave 1 in blue done, and we're heading higher in wave 2. That was the suggestion this week anyway. We're bouncing off that low right now. Maybe we already have wave A done. That could be 3 waves up in wave A, and we're going to work maybe on a B wave right now. Again, it's a corrective pattern. They can go so many different ways, so we'll just have to watch what's going on. The ending diagonal here did actually work last week, so it gave us a low about $70, and we're rallying again off that low. So I would suggest early this week, or as we're coming to the close on Monday, I would suggest that we are probably about to move into a second wave correction higher, or we have moved into a second wave correction higher. This will be wave 2 of 3 down. So if that's the case, then we will get a corrective lower high in around that 76.80 level. And once we do, let's say we rally back towards about $77, and we start getting weakness off that level, that would suggest that maybe this count is correct, and then we're actually going to turn down into a third of a third wave. That would be what I would be initially. That's what I'm kind of looking for this week. There are a couple of alternates, so we'll keep an eye on them as the pattern progresses, let's say. Okay, the hourly count in S&P. I was looking for that 5-wave pattern lower. I'm not sure we're actually done there. We didn't actually pip to a new low today in wave 1. Now, again, we may have a wave 1 already done at last week's low, and maybe we're already working on wave 2. So until we kind of see the solid structure of here, what's going to actually happen, then we're kind of, as usual, we're kind of peering into the future without knowing what the future will bring. Obviously, we're making guesstimations about what this pattern is going to do. If we do complete 3 waves up and we have a lower high, kind of to mirror, let's say, that the action from early last week. So we've got a shoulder here on the left, a head, and we build a shoulder on the right here in a second wave. That would probably be a solid nod in favor of this bearish pattern here. So let's see if we get a 1-2 pattern complete and we rally, or we accelerate to the downside in a third of wave 1. That'll be let's say the base case scenario here. UK, let's move on. Silver, 4-hour count on silver. We did pip to a new high in wave 4. I'm still kind of pretty much convinced that this is a 4th wave. I don't like the idea that silver rallied along with the most let's say the most aggressive part of the rally in the stock market as well. I don't like we tend to have this idea that silver is some sort of a hedge against volatility. I'm not quite sure against it's quite volatile itself. Um, Against stock market volatility, maybe, but we're rallying at what you might call a, a correlation of 1 at the moment. We've rallied off the August lows, in lockstep with the stock market. So if the stock market's going to turn, I think silver's going to turn in a big way as well, and it may be inextricably linked, to risk assets at the moment, because it did become the darling of, silver, to its detriment, became the darling of the Bitcoin crowd, of the alt economy crowd. Silver, for some reason, kind of gained some sort of notoriety in that kind of day trading fanaticism that happened over the last couple of years. So I think it's still probably linked to it in some way, and obviously they're buying it along with the stock market at the moment. Let's see. I'm not sure if we're going to turn this week. I was suggesting that we had it turned actually last week, but we pipped to a new high, so that kind of ruled that idea out. In general, though, we have 3 waves up, possible 3 waves down. So, or you could take 3 waves up here, 3 running flat correction wave B, and then a 5-wave rally in wave C. Even in wave 5 of C, we have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, in general, I'm pretty sold on the idea that we're going to turn probably hard lower in silver pretty soon. That's my idea anyway. You can feel free to to attack me in the comments if you want. I mean, it doesn't really matter. That's my base case scenario here. Is we have a 4th wave, a very large, albeit very large 4th wave correction done. It's a 4th wave correction, and we should turn lower in wave 5. I think at a minimum we see a break of $17 again in silver before we finish this pattern. Okay. What am I going to do? Maybe I'll do a bit of Bitcoin. Thinking about the darlings of the, excessive fantasy world economy, Bitcoin, which, what are we, 12 years? I read a nice comment. We're 12 years into Bitcoin, we still haven't found a use for it yet. And that is pretty much, apart from, a vehicle for speculation in the extreme, I don't think we have, Bitcoin hasn't found a use yet. So, it's kind of a case of like, oh, what's that? When crude oil was discovered first, and they looked at this annoying black stuff bubbling out of the ground, and they had no idea what to use it for. So I don't think actually, in general, maybe blockchain has some sort of use. I've said this 1,000 times, but I don't think this as a trading vehicle. I think it's just a wealth destroyer, to be honest. As a currency, you can say what you like about fiat currencies, but they don't bounce around like that. Okay, let's go. I think we may have a second wave correction here. Maybe, possibly, maybe, possibly done. Wave 2 in green. If that's the case, then sayonara, baby. We have wave 1 and wave 2 done in blue, and if this is a wave 1 and 2 in green to start wave 5, then, or sorry, wave 3 of 5, then we're looking a lot lower for a lot longer, even maybe than I have been thinking, because I thought Bitcoin would probably bottom towards that 5,000 area, maybe even less. Looking at it right now, it's probably going to be less than that. So let's see how it goes. But, possible move into a third of a 5th wave decline this week. Let's get this chart up to date. So this will be wave 1 and 2 of wave 3. So we have wave 4 done, 1 and 2 of 5, and then 1 and 2 of 3. So wave 3 of 5 of C should bring us significantly lower over the coming months. Okay, I think that's it. To everyone who's never been here before, thank you for watching. I know I haven't been the most animated that I've ever been, But long drive today. Back at the computer this evening. So about to start tonight's update for website members. So if you are interested in joining the website, bullwebs.org. For everybody else, if you've never seen the ABCs of salvation, that's how you get to heaven. So, well, you gotta mean it though. It's not something you just say. And I will get into that deeper on Friday. Apart from that, God's blessings to you all. I'm sorry I've been away for such a long time. A lot has happened in the last few weeks. Um, not everything bad. A few bad things, but not everything bad. Anyway, let's move on. It's time. I'm going to get to work on tonight's update, and I'll see you on the website later on. Okay.